Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video we are going to see how to write a logical expression for the following statements. Now let's look at the first statement. Here it says anyone that has ever received a perfect score on a final exam is a genius. Now here we have to look at the keywords anyone. So when we have anyone, we have to use for all. There are three signs you have to know. One is for all, and another one is there exist. For there exist, that this is the symbol, and also belongs, you put this one. Okay, now let's look at this one. Anyone mean for all, we have to replace this one with for all. And that has ever received mean that is belong to, not belong to, actually there exist. Okay, and a perfect score on a final exam is a genius. So is a genius mean implies, so we have to put this sign right here. Now let's go ahead and create some variables. Let's say let g of x, so g of x represents x is a genius, and the next one is we are going to pick up something like p of x comma y. It implies that x had a perfect score on final exam y. X had a perfect score on a final exam y. Okay, now the next thing is we are going to write the expression. The first thing is for all x, if they are exist, so we put something like that. If they are exist, let's write with a different color so we can see it differently. So for all x, if there exist y is a perfect score in the exam. This implies x is a genius. Okay, x had a perfect score on a final exam y, that is p of xy. This implies this sign that x is a genius, g of x is a genius. And that's how we write the first one. Now let's look at another example. Here it says Alice watched a movie and Bob watched it too. So they both watched the same movie. Now let's go ahead and create some expression for this one. First of all, we have to know for a movie. So for a movie, there exist, we have to use there exist. And also watched it too mean same movie. Okay, now let's go ahead and create some functions for this. Let m of x is equal to x is a movie, and also we are going to say w p of x, here p watched x, okay. Now here we are going to write our expression. Let's use a different color. So first we are going to say there exists some movie. So there exists some movie is the x, so we put x. And Alice watched it and Bob watched it. So we have to mention mx because it's a movie. And this one wpx, wp comma x, Alice watched it, but here p we have to mention this is Alice watched it, and then and Bob watched it, so we put Bob here and watched it. Okay, and that's how we express this one. Now let's look at another example. Here we have Alice watched a movie and Bob watched one too. This is similar to the previous one, so we can bring the previous expression. So let's say use the definition as b. Use the definition as B. If you look at the definition of B, M of X is a movie, WP of PX is P watched X. Now based on that we are going to write the new expression. Here the difference is, previously we had this one, watched it too, but here it says watch one too. So Alice watched a movie and Bob watched one too. So here it's not the same movie. So here this is the difference. Now let's go ahead and write the expression for this. First we write there exists a movie that is M of X and Alice watched X and Bob watched the movie, but for Bob it's different. So what we are going to do, we are going to introduce another thing. So let's close it right here. So we are going to say there exists another movie that is Y. So another movie and Bob watched that movie. W Bob X, and that's how we express this one. Now let's look at another example. Here it says no students are taking both calculus and linear algebra classes this semester. So no students, so we have to put not and there exist, so it means not exist, are taking both calculus and linear algebra classes this semester. So let's say let S of X is equal to X is a student and L of X is equal to X is taking linear algebra this semester. Okay, then C of X is taking calculus this semester. Taking calculus this semester. Now let's go and write the expression. The first thing is there's not a exist, no students, not exist, and then not exist X such that X is a student and C of X, okay, X is a student and S of X, we have to write X of X after that, and C of X is X is taking calculus this semester, and L of X so it reads as not exist, there's not exist a student who take calculus and linear algebra. Okay, and that's how we express the final one. I hope this helped, and if you want to see more videos on discrete mathematics, there are a bunch of videos in my playlist. I hope you guys watch that too. And if you have any question, put it in the comments section below. I will answer as soon as possible. See you next time, and don't forget to subscribe.